Killing Eve has definitely earned its phenomenal success. And now you're going to learn all the rules the cast has to follow on and behind the set. Find out what the most challenging moments for Jodie Comer were.
Eve is... what? Professional.
Discover why Sandra Oh had to spend all day being sprayed with glycerin, and how Comer managed to bemuse the unflappable Kim Bodnia. Let's dive in right now. Be ready for the lead role. Sandra was actually the first actor cast for Killing Eve, and she was also the first one to learn this very important rule. From day one, producers of the show knew that Sandra Oh was their perfect Eve. They needed an actor around 40 who could embody a sense of being disappointed with her life. But at the same time, she still had to be brilliant and have the ability to tap into how extraordinary she was when she was younger and show how that all reignited. Sandra Oh became the obvious choice early on, and she loved the script. She was really excited about the thriller aspect, but especially about the show's unique style.
It had this blend of drama, of thriller, but also of this kind of demented naughtiness, with an English spin on it.
She was ready to accept the role immediately. However, she wasn't sure which part the producers had in mind for her. Oh confessed that she couldn't see herself in a leading role, as they are unfortunately so rarely offered to Asian middle-aged actors. Needless to say, Sandra was happy to get the part, and she was particularly intrigued by the duality of Eve's character, who's vulnerable, but also has a darker side. And that is exactly what Eve and Villanelle have in common. Next, we'll talk about the second rule, which has to do with the choice of the show's second lead actress. Be a chameleon. Villanelle approaches each fresh target with a new disguise, which helps her blend in with every environment and get away unnoticed. That's why the show's creators wanted to find someone who didn't look like the girl with the dragon tattoo, but who could disappear in a crowd. Wigs and costumes definitely play their part. However, it was crucial to find someone who could speak in different accents. Villanelle is of Russian origin, but she's also fluent in a number of languages. And Jodie Comer appeared to be perfect for the role. Amazingly, she learned how to do accents from watching TV when she was a young girl.
I've always imitated adverts and stuff with me dad.
At the time, she did it for a laugh. But the actress reveals that later it made her fearless at auditions. When there was an accent on it that wasn't my own, I wasn't intimidated. Now that Comer has become famous playing the elusive assassin, people are actually puzzled by her real-life, Liverpudlian pronunciation. My own voice is so wavy and high-pitched. I think that's what shocks people. Moreover, Jodie, who only speaks English, confessed that she lied in her audition about her language skills.
It was she speaks many languages, and I was like, of course. So do I.
And she managed to be so convincing as multilingual Villanelle by following rule number 3. Work hard for your role. From the very start, Jodie viewed Villanelle as an actress of sorts. She's so self-confident because she takes her job seriously and prepares for each assignment. And so did Comer. She worked with a voice coach a lot. On average, it took a week to perfect a new accent.
So say, for instance, if Villanelle's doing a Scottish accent, then for a week, we'll just purely do that and muck around on set, and that's the only way we'll speak to each other.
Still, some languages were harder to do than others. Jodie admitted that French was particularly tricky, but she really enjoyed doing Italian. However, portraying the stylish hitwoman involved more than just accents. Comer is simply amazing at embodying an alluring menace that can switch from an inviting smile to a terrifying one with just the curl of a lip. All in all, the actress loved her multifaceted character and learned a lot from her. She instilled a sense of fearlessness in me, revealed Jodie. Through playing her, I've had to shed my own self-consciousness. Even her more experienced co-star, Sandra Oh, was impressed by Comer's skills.
I mean, the girl has a remarkable ear. She's so talented.
And who knows better than Sandra how hugely demanding it is to be on Killing Eve. We get new scripts and she goes, "Oh, gotta speak French." I'd be very hard-pressed to do some of the things Jodie does. Sandra confessed she had never seen Comer acting before, but as they were supposed to portray the most unusual duo on TV, rule number 4 was really important. The chemistry must be exceptional. Incredibly, Jodie only had 2 days to memorize 9 pages of dialogue before her first read with Sandra. The stakes were high, as it would determine if she was the right one to play the globe-trotting assassin. and the scene they rehearsed was one of the most important in season 1. From Villanelle's perspective, it seemed like a nice meal with friends, but it definitely wasn't the same for Eve. And for viewers, it was more like a wolf coming to have tea with a mouse. Sandra Oh personally ensured that the younger actress had all the props needed for their first interaction, and those included cups, water, cutlery, and a pie for Comer to chow down on. To show Villanelle's predatory nature, Jodie actually had to devour that pie. A more experienced performer would probably just have pretended to eat it, taking into account the long hours of repeated takes. However, Comer really went for it, as she was trying hard to impress Sandra and the show's creators. So after the final take, she had to be rolled out of the audition room. Thankfully, it was totally worth it.
It was really exciting. It's just like when you're on a date with someone, it's like, oh, this is going well. This could go somewhere. And so I feel like we immediately had a great chemistry.
By the way, on the day of the shoot, Jodie was eating a shepherd's pie made with fake beef, as she didn't want to be in meat all day. Still, while a corn-based substitute has its advantages, it's also extremely dry. The actress almost choked on it several times and had to hold down a cough while Oh got through her lines. It was probably the last time Comer ate shepherd's pie, at least that year. Next, let's talk about rule number 5. Don't mind the wrinkles. Watching Killing Eve, you just can't help admiring how attractive Jodie Comer is. But you also witness how willing she is to not be beautiful. Villanelle can often be messy, coarse, and unfeminine, and her facial expressions change very quickly. Some fans even commented that someone with so much versatility in her features should already think about forehead-freezing injections. And although Jodie doesn't seem to have an ounce of vanity in her, she's aware of the issue. Maybe I need to chill with the crazy expressions, she admits, or I'll be a prune by age 40. She's joking, of course. Villanelle has so many different faces that it's a rare opportunity to be able to explore all that within one character. So maybe fine lines are a small price to pay to showcase how big Comer's talent is. Now, let's talk about how dangerous it can be to play the lead characters of Killing Eve. Deal with a lot of inconveniences. That shepherd's pie wasn't the only time Jodie had trouble with food. You might remember the scene from season 2 when Villanelle was having a special pasta dish at a restaurant Aaron Peele booked out just for the two of them. She was showing off, trying to prove her point and shoveling mouthfuls of pasta at the same time. And the pasta almost did Jodie in. The actress explained that they'd been shooting the scene all day, from 9 a.m. till late in the afternoon.
So there's a lot of pasta, and it was particularly dry and rather large.
In the middle of yet another take, Comer choked, and nobody realized she needed help. The actor opposite her thought she was just acting. Fortunately, it didn't take long for everyone on set to realize that Jodie was actually in trouble, and a medic came in. But Comer's life definitely flashed before her eyes.
Of all the things that could potentially kill Villanelle,
Right.
it's
that.
Yeah.
Sandra Oh, in her turn, had other unpleasant things to deal with. As you probably remember, moments before the kitchen scene in season 1, Villanelle drops Eve into a bathtub to calm her down. And during the whole scene, Oh's character is wet and cold. This effect was achieved by dumping an entire tub of gel on Sandra's thick hair. Moreover, between takes, the makeup team sprayed her down with glycerin in order to maintain the sopping wet look. Insanely, that lasted for over 11 hours of shooting. And don't forget the action sequences, which happened in every place possible. Like a moving bus, for example, which was crucial for showing the dynamic between the characters, but was actually extremely difficult to film.
With a crew that's just crammed into half of the bus.
Now, let's move to our next rule. Always be surprised. Jodie Comer recalled that she took an active part in the development of her character. A week after her audition, she got the role and immediately set about building the character together with the first season's writer, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The two sat down at a restaurant and worked on Villanelle's timeline, pondering on such things like, where was she born? Who's her family? And why does she kill? However, many things about the character are born right on set, which adds to that cracking sense of humor the show is famous for. For example, that moment where Villanelle is acting silly, licking Constantine's hand, was completely spur of the moment. And here's another hilarious moment that wasn't scripted.
This is so
Boring!
Jodie just did that because she thought it would be fun. So her co-star, Kim Bodnia's reaction in that scene is totally genuine. But apart from that, in many cases, the actors are just unaware of what's going to happen to their characters. As Fiona Shaw explained, she wasn't told the full arc of her character, as the writing continues right up until they start shooting. The veteran actress felt a bit shocked when she learned that Carolyn's son would die. Not only because she'd missed Sean Delaney, who played Kenny, but also because of the challenge of playing a mourning Carolyn and finally showing her vulnerability. And to end our video on a high note, let's talk about the last rule for the cast of Killing Eve. Deal with fame graciously. Being on the popular show is not just physically and emotionally difficult, it might also sometimes affect the personal lives of the actors, especially when you play a cold-blooded killer. Quite often, fans confuse Comer with the character she plays. For example, she revealed that she sometimes gets bizarre requests.
I get a lot of people asking me to do the accent, or they're like, can you say I will kill you?
And once, a woman asked the actress for a photograph with her and then whispered in Jodie's ear, "Will you strangle me?"
I don't know about that one.
Still, we bet Comer will miss those moments one day, because the 4th season of the show is going to be its final one. But don't be sad. We have other videos about Killing Eve and other great shows. Check them out and stay super awesome.